Best places to visit in Thailand. Thailand is one of those countries that completely takes over people's expectations the moment they arrive. Most travelers think they already know what Thailand looks like because they have seen the beaches on social media, the glowing temples in travel videos, and the crowded night markets all over the internet. But the reality feels far more intense, colorful, emotional, and unforgettable than any photo can show. This is a country where golden temples stand beside chaotic streets filled with scooters and food stalls, where islands look so unreal they almost seem edited, and where every city somehow carries a completely different personality. One moment feels peaceful and spiritual, the next feels loud and energetic, like the entire country never sleeps. Visitors arrive planning short trips and suddenly start extending them because the experience becomes addictive without warning. The food, the people, the scenery, the nightlife, the culture, everything combines into a place that constantly feels alive. Bangkok. Bangkok does not ease people into Thailand gently. It throws them directly into the chaos from the second they arrive. Massive traffic jams, glowing skyscrapers, endless street food stalls, tuk-tuks racing through crowded roads, markets packed with noise and movement. At first, the city feels overwhelming because everything happens at once. But after a while, that non-stop energy becomes strangely exciting. Bangkok feels alive every hour of the day. Early mornings start with monks walking quietly through the streets collecting offerings, while nights turn entire neighborhoods into glowing oceans of food stalls, music, and crowds. Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai feels like Thailand finally taking a deep breath after the intensity of Bangkok. Surrounded by mountains and filled with ancient temples, the city carries a slower and calmer energy that instantly changes the pace of the trip. The old town especially feels beautiful at night, when lanterns glow softly beside temples and the streets fill with markets, music, and the smell of fresh food cooking everywhere. But what makes Chiang Mai special is the atmosphere. It feels welcoming in a very natural way. Phuket. Phuket feels like several completely different destinations trapped inside one island. Some areas are loud and energetic with beaches packed full of nightlife, music, and tourists staying awake until sunrise, while other parts feel peaceful enough to seem disconnected from the modern world entirely. The beaches are obviously the main attraction because the water genuinely looks unreal in certain places. Clear blue waves, white sand, boats floating across the horizon. But what surprises many travelers is how much variety exists around the island itself. Krabi. Krabi honestly looks like somebody created it using computer graphics instead of nature. Massive limestone cliffs rise dramatically from the ocean. Islands float across turquoise water, and beaches stretch beneath landscapes so beautiful they almost feel fake. The first time people see Railay Beach from a boat, there is usually a moment of complete silence, because the scenery genuinely looks impossible. And what makes Krabi special is not just the beaches themselves, but the feeling of adventure surrounding them. Boats move between islands all day, hidden lagoons appear between cliffs, caves open beside the sea, and every direction seems to reveal another unbelievable view. Phi Phi Islands. The Phi Phi Islands almost do not look real in person. The water is so clear it sometimes feels invisible. The cliffs rise straight from the sea like giant walls, and the entire landscape feels more like a dream than an actual destination. But what makes Phi Phi unforgettable is the atmosphere surrounding it. During the day, boats arrive constantly carrying travelers who immediately pull out cameras because every direction looks cinematic. Snorkeling there feels surreal because the water is filled with colorful fish moving beneath cliffs and coral reefs glowing under sunlight. Then, nighttime completely changes the energy again. Ayutthaya. Ayutthaya feels haunting in the most beautiful way possible. The ancient ruins of temples and statues spread across the city like reminders of a lost kingdom that once ruled much of Southeast Asia centuries ago. Walking through Ayutthaya creates this strange feeling because parts of the city still look powerful and grand even after hundreds of years. Giant Buddha statues sit quietly between broken walls, temple towers rise above the trees, and roots from ancient trees wrap around stone faces like nature slowly reclaim the city over time. But Ayutthaya does not feel lifeless or trapped in the past. Pattaya. Pattaya has a reputation for nightlife, and honestly, the energy there after dark is impossible to ignore. Neon lights cover entire streets, music spills from every direction, and the city suddenly feels like it refuses to sleep. But Pattaya is much more layered than many people expect. Beyond the nightlife, there are beaches, floating markets, temples, and nearby islands that completely change the atmosphere. What surprises visitors most is how quickly the city can switch personalities depending on where they go. One area feels loud and non-stop, while another feels calm and relaxed beside the ocean. Koh Samui. Koh Samui feels softer and more relaxed compared to Thailand's bigger party destinations. Palm trees lean over quiet beaches, luxury resorts blend naturally into tropical landscapes, and the entire island carries this calm atmosphere that makes people instantly slow down. But Koh Samui is not boring or empty. The island still has lively markets, beach restaurants, nightlife, and hidden waterfalls scattered through the jungle interior. What makes it special is the balance. Travelers can spend the morning relaxing beside crystal-clear water, then suddenly find themselves exploring temples or watching sunsets from viewpoints high above the island. Pai. Pai feels completely different from the rest of Thailand in a way that catches travelers off guard. Hidden in the mountains of northern Thailand, the town carries this peaceful, creative, almost dreamlike atmosphere that makes people extend their stays constantly. Small cafes sit beside rivers, live music drifts through the streets at night, and the surrounding countryside feels incredibly beautiful with rice fields, waterfalls, and winding mountain roads. The town itself feels simple, but that simplicity becomes the entire charm. Khao Sok National Park. Khao Sok feels like stepping into another world entirely. Dense rainforest stretches across dramatic limestone mountains, giant lakes reflect cliffs rising into the sky, and the entire landscape feels untouched and ancient. Some scientists even consider parts of this rainforest older than the Amazon, which honestly makes sense once people experience how wild and alive the environment feels. Staying in floating bungalows on Chiaolan Lake becomes unforgettable almost immediately, because mornings begin with mist moving across the water while jungle sounds echo from every direction. Thailand is one of those rare countries that offers almost every kind of experience imaginable in one place. Futuristic cities, ancient ruins, tropical islands, mountain villages, rainforests, beaches, nightlife, temples. Every destination feels different, yet together they create a country that constantly pulls travelers deeper into its atmosphere. And maybe that is why so many people return again and again. One trip never really feels like enough. If this video made you want to explore Thailand someday, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment which destination surprised you the most.